Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining. We are back with Sonal again. I know I've been getting a lot of questions about when are we bringing Sonal back for live questions. So here, she's here finally. I will share all her details, etc. once this live is done as well. So Sonal, without further ado, we are going to begin. But before we do that, I think I just want to get your take on all of the news that's happening around the H1B lottery fraud. Like, are these rumors? What's going on? Is there like anything you can share to clarify will be super helpful before we begin answering
Sure.
questions.
Well, see, there are loopholes in the system, right? It's allowed to apply for beneficiaries to apply through different employers. But what is happening is that employers who know each other, they have been using different companies to apply for the same beneficiaries. So the question here is, it's okay to apply through different employers, but do these employers really have a job offer for you? Beneficiaries can apply through different employers. That's allowed under the regulations. There's nothing wrong. The question here is when beneficiaries are applying through 15, 16, 20 employers, do they really have a job offer for them, or these are all speculative registrations? What has happened with that is the registration number this year has gone up to 780,000, which brings the probability for getting picked up brings down to 10% or less than 15%, which is very bad for overall all the applicants who are applying. So to curb this now, for last 3 years, USCIS has been gathering data, right? When you're applying for registration, they are gathering all that data. Now they can connect the dots. They can connect the dots and see what is happening on the larger picture, which are the employers who are filing through related entities. And in H1B lottery context, related entities is a very broad term. It's not just, oh, you have to be related through relation or the same person is the owner. It goes as far as if the employer is applying and the end client is applying, they will be considered related entities because they're both applying for the same job. But it was easy to, detect that when it was just filing the H1B petitions, right? Earlier, every petition had to go in, there was no registration process. So if two of the employers are filing for the same end client location, it was easy to catch in the system, and they would reject it saying this was duplicate filing because of related entities. But with registration, it's not that easy. And so now, given that how this has, it has gone to that level, now they have declared that they're gonna use that data they have collected and go after the employers. Because last year also they implemented a certification before the employers submit the registration that they are not colluding with other employers to increase the chances, this, that. Basically, that's what, under the perjury of law, they are going to use that certification and start investigations against the employers who are filing thousands and thousands of registrations, but they do not have really job offers. And that becomes even more critical for consulting companies, right? Because they don't have their own projects. So as long as they can show that they had projects lined up for all these people who were not on their payroll on the date of registration, it becomes very difficult for them to say these are non-speculative filings. So that's what is happening. We still have to see what action USCIS is going to take, which we'll get to know once the cases are filed and either NOEDs are starting to come or NOEDs are starting to come. We'll get to know what actions they are taking and how it's going to impact the beneficiaries, because there is not going to be direct any case against the beneficiary because they are allowed to file, right? But if an H1B petition that is already approved is revoked or that's filed this year is denied because of a fraud allegation, that impacts the beneficiary as well, right? Because apart from losing the chance, it's also now attached to their passport number, date of birth, their name, everything. How it's going to impact in the future for future filings, I think they should not be punished, and probably they won't be punished because this is the system, right? It's allowed and they are doing it. But employers, yes, they are worried. A lot of people are not even filing H1Bs this year, especially those employers who did all of that. So there is a high chance that you will see a second lottery. High chance. It's not clear though whether it will be, but given that most of the people who did all this are not going to file any of the cases because now they're scared, there is a chance that there will be a second lottery, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, no, and that was actually the first question. Is there going to be a second lottery? So that's super helpful. And Sonal, is there a date or something by which we will have more clarity around the process? Because I know there are just like a lot of news around the fact that USCIS is looking at applications from a last couple of years as well. Like, what's going on there?
So
Like, do we have clarity on when we'll know more?
they are actually looking, and I know from other attorneys and people talk that their clients got some notes from last year's filing and the previous year's filing on notes as well, basically trying to revoke the earlier petition on the same basis that it was non-speculative and all. But none of my clients have gotten so far, so I don't have the first-hand experience to discuss. But I am hearing that a few employers got it, and that's where everybody is worried now that USCA is going to go that route. Now, you also have to take into consideration how large this this process is
Yeah,
going to be, because they can't just go after the whole industry, right? So depending on what data they have, who are they going to go after, we'll have to see. But I won't be surprised if they'll go after some companies who have done in like thousands. It serves their purpose that they're cracking down, and also as a deterrent, right, to make an
got it.
example out of it. But yeah, we'll see. I think this year after October 1, you will see more of these enforcement actions on a much larger scale than the last 2 years.